but you gotta be brave enough to step into the ring. Put your guard up and fight back.
Okay, this is a new one. Okay, now they're selling imaginary food for $3.84. I don't know if I can. Yeah, you can really lose weight on this too. This is a new thing, but it's out of my budget, unfortunately.
What's up, guys? John here. In 12 days, side hustles will become illegal in America.
Side hustle could soon be classified as a second job,
thanks to new labor rules unveiled by the Biden administration this week.
The move has riled some companies who rely heavily on gig workers, whose costs could increase by as much as 30%.
On January 9th, the Biden administration issued a rule that could curb gig work, and this would go into effect on March 11th. Well, the very next day, January 10th, the U.S. Department of Labor published a final rule replacing the current test for determining whether a worker is an employee or an independent contractor under the Fair Labor Standards Act. So now this is law. So in 12 days, this is what's going to happen. Presently, 50% of Americans have a side hustle, even if they earn $100,000 a year. And 80 million people have a side hustle in America. 80 million.
We cannot keep doing this. My husband and I got a notice yesterday that our mortgage payment is going up almost $200 between taxes and insurance. On top of that, my car insurance has gone up. My health insurance has gone up with less coverage. My health insurance now barely covers anything, but the premiums are higher. And daycare costs, insane. Daycare cost, I know colleges that are cheaper than daycare. My college degree costs the same as what I would pay for my daughter to go to daycare for 1 year. And I don't send her to a fancy daycare. That's insane to me. And then on top of everything, I used to be able to go grocery shopping, I kid you not, $100 every other week. I would make it stretch and we would go grocery shopping and I would spend maybe $200, $300, $400 a month on groceries. I probably cannot get out of the store for less than $120 a week now. And that is with me being frugal. I do not know what to do anymore because it's getting to the point where if things keep going up, I genuinely am not going to have money to pay the bills that I have, let alone to pay for food, to pay for clothing, to pay for necessities to get by, like just toiletries. This is just for household bills. I'm almost at the point where I don't know how people make it on one income alone because my husband and I are both working and we are getting by. I don't know how people are doing it now.
The salary you need to make today to live like your parents did 40 years ago, making $30K a year, is totally depressing. In a TikTok video, financial expert Robert Gill explained that adjusted for inflation, please sit down and have your emotional support person on standby before proceeding, you'd have to make $162,342 to have the same purchasing power. Now, it's important to understand that inflation isn't just the prices of things going up. It's also the broader price increases across sectors, industries, and ultimately an entire country's economy in general. So it's not just that, say, housing prices are up since 1983. A dollar is actually worth less than it was previously. This is why we're all feeling the pinch, and also why our parents don't seem to get it. Boomers telling us to work harder isn't going to suddenly make our dollars worth more, which led several commenters to ask Gil the question probably on everyone's mind. Does inflation ever really go down? His response, it hasn't in the last 40 years. And this of course means that as the value of our money continues to decrease, the amount of money needed to live a stable life will continue to increase. And unless we do something, like say reining in corporate power by having reasonable corporate tax rates like the ones we had even during the beloved Reagan era, for instance, a comfortable life on a normal salary will become more and more unattainable to us average folks.